Hi guys, Rjpasini from Rjpasini.com. Come to you today to talk to you about a little, seems like an ongoing issue with me anyway. I'm sure it might be going on with a lot of other sellers out there. And buyers experiencing poor service from the U.S. Postal Service. I received another message from a buyer who purchased an item from me, electronic item. And it was a desktop computer, my personal desktop computer, and I personally owned it. And if I tell you the item is in good, clean condition, perfect condition or good condition, you gotta take my word for it. I know people say, well, why should I take your word for it? Well, that's up to you. I take pictures of the item, all four sides, up, around, bottom, everything, to show you exactly what it is, you know. And with eBay, when you click on there, you could, you know, see the picture, when it's an expanded view of it to see, and you could, analyze it. Plus, on top of that, I do videos as well. As you all know, people who follow me, I do videos as well about the item. In the video, I will always describe the item, its condition, its missing parts, broken, damaged, so on, so forth. I don't want to sound like a broken record, guys. You know the deal with me. For people that follow me, and if you're new to my YouTube channel, let me introduce myself. My name is Rjpasini from Rjpasini.com. My eBay user ID. I sell exclusively right now on eBay and Bonanza. But Bonanza, I love Bonanza, but like I said, I sell exclusively on eBay. And my eBay user ID is shop RJ. Well, actually, if you want to do a search on me, it's shop. A lot of dashes. Okay, so bear with me. It's shop dash Rjpasini dash for dash great dash deals. I'm sorry, I could have probably left it just very cut and dry and just leave it as Rjpasini, but I changed it around because I figured, it sounds a little more better than just Rjpasini, Anyway, as you know, I do these videos, and I pretty much put my heart and soul into, working out the video and, putting it on there, and I embedded in my eBay listings to give the potential buyer, as to what I'm selling. Anyway, I'm not too familiar on how to, wipe out the person's name and stuff like that, so I'm not making this stuff up. I just received it today. I put it in Word. I don't want to give the identity away for the person, although I'm sure people could find out anyway, but I just figured, I don't want to get into it. So anyway, the first message that came this morning was, it is a little more roughed up than I expected. One of the front bezel clips is broken and it is loose. He replies back, it is no concern, just wondered how it happened, figured I'd let you know, so you know the next time. I would just have to use it as, I guess he wants to say as is instead of the original plan, whatever. I don't know what NAS is. I don't know what he means by that. Anyway, thank you. I will be sure to leave you a positive feedback. I wrote back, thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. And again, I really am sorry about this. When shipping items, I said I'm sorry about this. When shipping items like this, we always make sure they are well packaged. I am not happy about this, and we'll let the U.S. Postal Service know that their service is not good. And it makes me feel bad that the buyer receives items like this are unacceptable, and they need to improve on how they deliver fragile packages. I want you to know that I am sorry about this, Robert, and you have my deepest apologies on behalf of the USPS Poorly Delivery Service. Thank you again for letting me know, and please accept my apologies. Sincerely, Rjpasini. Now, as you guys know, this happened once before, and with the a lamp, a ceramic lamp I sent out. That item that I shipped out was packaged again. I know people say, well, this is the second time. Maybe you're not packaging like you think you are. Maybe the packaging ain't so good. Look, when I had that desktop, I put padding like that on the bottom of it. I wrapped it around with plastic, as I always do, to protect it from getting dirty or dust or whatever. Then I pack it with foam, styrofoam, this thick, all the way around it. I protect the fronts, the sides, all four corners, the bottom, top, whatever. I mark on the box, fragile, handle with care, please do not drop or crush. Okay, now I don't know if the Postal Service employees overlook these stickers I put on there, and if they do, what's the sense of putting them on there? Okay, maybe they laugh at it, maybe when they look at that, because I put their stickers fragile, handle with care, then I put in the bottom, please do not drop or crush. I write on there sometimes with magic marker, this side up, you know, or like if I'm shipping out like not keyboards, like I sold my motherboard for my old computer. I put a little sticker on it that said, what you call electronic, the thing there, do not put near any electromagnetic. Look, I put these stickers on there. People say, well, you're wasting your time. Because I think once before I was listening to eBay radio and somebody was saying that those stickers don't really mean nothing to the Postal Service. Well, they should mean something, because first off, you got all these big companies out there printing them up. Okay, you got the U.S. Postal Service that has stamps that they stamp on there, fragile, within their own environment, right? I brought something out. Here, I'll give you an example. When I brought a package there to the U.S. Postal Service, even though I had fragile all over it, the postal clerk, the window clerk, took it and stamped fragile all over the box, a couple of spots on it. And this is within the U.S. Postal Service. I don't know what's going on with this service. I don't know if the workers are taking pride in their job. Maybe they just discussed it. I don't know. I'm not sitting here bad-mouthing them, but at the same time, I can't give them praise when this is the second time this happened. Okay, so you got to understand, I'm a little irate over this here. Okay, because by their negligence, by poor delivery like that, it makes me as a seller look bad. Now, if this buyer was to complain to eBay or say, I'm going to open up a case, I want to return the item because it came damaged, that's going to affect my return score. It's going to affect my performance. I believe it affects my performance, because if you look at it, if you look at your seller dashboard, it shows your returns, your defects, and all that other stuff. Okay, this is like, seems like to be an ongoing issue. Now, thank God I didn't hear anything about the snow globe, and I hope and pray to God I don't hear about it. But I am going to notify the Postal Service that I am not happy with their service, and I'm not. Okay. Now, if they got people that, you know, when they look at stickers that say fragile, handle with care, please do not drop or crush, and they just look and say, I don't care about what's on the box, I'm just going to do what I got to do. If I'm going to load stuff on top, I understand sometimes when things are going, not international, throughout the states, they put them on a commercial airline, but the Postal Service also has their own jets too, you know. Okay, I had this discussion with my dad, God rest his soul, a long time ago. Maybe he wasn't aware of it, you know. But I told him, I said, Pop, I said, the U.S. Postal Service has their own jets. He goes, no, he goes, I didn't hear it. I go, Pop, you probably don't read your postal bulletins. I said, but they have it there. And one day I got a hold of one, and I said, look, see, Pop, they do have it. He goes, I didn't know. He goes, back in the day when he got involved with the Postal Service, they were using commercial airliners to deliver packages, okay? If a package was going here or there or whatever, the Postal Service would use commercial airliners, and they would put them in, I guess, the cargo hold, whatever, and that's how they would deliver them. Maybe that's what's happening here with this. I don't know. I don't know if the Postal Service uses their postal jets for international flights, for, I guess for, international, priority, whatever. Maybe those jets, I don't know. I don't know where they fly. I don't sit there looking at the pilots, the U.S. Postal Service transatlantic flights where they go. I don't know. I mean, I know they go all over the world, no doubt. They got the global shipping. But at the same token, right now, that's irrelevant. Where they go, what they go, where they go. My concern is that, and the lady, I'll tell you the truth. I'll be honest with you. When I went to the post office, the local one by me, I've been shipping boxes out yay big for quite some time, and this one clerk, I guess, was either new there, or maybe they would just become more stringent on certain things. Maybe they were telling, hey, when you get buyers that come in, when you get customers that come in with boxes yay big, tape out and measure all that stuff. Now, eBay has it where I believe if you're going to use it there, a certain service, to put the dimensions in there. And I explained this to the woman. I said, yeah, I did put the dimensions. She goes, well, she goes, I'm going to let it go this time. She goes, but you got to check it out because these go on an airplane, and the space, they have to know by the space, and there's also like a surcharge for, I guess, dimensions of the boxes. Okay, I understand that. Apparently, I said I had this problem. She goes, "Not a problem." She goes, "I'm just letting you know if in advance for future." I said, "Okay, all right, that's no problem." I mean, look, I told her, I said, "If there's any additional charges, I'll pay for it right now." She said, "No, it's okay." The other problem, I got to say one thing with the Postal Service, and I don't think they're aware of it. So keep this in mind, folks. When you print out postage through eBay, and you know, as a top rate seller, you get your discount. Not the greatest discount, but it's a discount. The Post Office don't see that there. There's no, unless they have something scanned, and this is when they read that barcode and it comes up as eBay seller, discounted price, whatever. Because I remember one time sending out a little package, and it was priority mail, and I got a discount on it. And apparently, the postal clerk said there's not enough postage on this. I said, well, I get discounts on you. Because what I'm trying to say is, for the sellers out there that sell, you know, that do sell merchandise like that, when you click on priority mail services, it'll show you the total price, what it's going to cost. Then it shows you the discounted price. Okay, what eBay allows you with the discount. And I think what's happening is the postal clerk is taking the discounted price and using that, you know, when they scan it in, as a price that's underpaid, looks underpaid, when in fact eBay is giving you that discounted price. So I told the clerk, I said, look, she goes, if you want to send that, it's going to cost you additional. And the funny thing is, I didn't want to run back and forth to the post office. I think it cost me additional $2, whatever it was. And that's exactly what the discount was. $2 was the discount from eBay. I could have came home, take the package back, said, let me have the package back, void out the label, redo it all over again. But you know what? What's the sense? Because the same thing is going to happen when I do it, when I give it to them, and they're going to say, well, you're under. I just paid the $2 additional, and I let it be. All right. Anyway, that's the story with that. Like I said, I love the postal. Right now, I'm using them exclusively to do all my shipping needs. Okay, the first class, USPS first class package, I use that. I have no problem with it. Priority mail, their parcel select service, okay. It's funny, I'll send stuff out parcel select, I won't have no problem. I send stuff out insured, and it seems to get there with a problem, because I use the priority mail, tracked and insured, and it seems like the items get there damaged. It don't figure. Anyway, let me share this. Look, I got my check. I don't want to go too close. I got my address in there, but I finally got my check from the U.S. Postal Service. They sent it to me. Whoopee, you know. Anyway, let me open it up. I know it's not going to be. You know, it's a funny thing too, folks. When you put in for these here, the required amount that you're putting in for, you could put in, but they will decide what you're going to get. Take it or leave it. You could appeal it, but take it or leave it. Yeah, so here it is. I'm going to make a photocopy of it for my own records. The post office check, how they send it to you. And will be deposited in my business account. And it's not for much, but I'm going to make a copy of the whole check in its whole entirety. I'm going to date on here the date I received it, and we take care of that. Then, in case you're wondering, folks, this is for the damaged ceramic lamp, which I will say one thing, just to give you a heads up. They did not include their shipping in here, so I am out of shipping on both ends. The shipping for the receiving and the buyer got the full amount, but that's okay. It is what it is. It's a loss. Okay, I take a loss on it, but it's okay. At least I got a big chunk of the majority of what I paid. You know, what the buyer paid for it. So I'm glad I got that back. But anyway, getting back again with the U.S. Postal Service, they really need to step up the game and do something, have a better system to ensure that the items that are being shipped out fragile they have a place somewhere where they can put it, and wherever it may be, a certain part of their facility or whatever, but they got to do something better with the way they deliver fragile packages. I'm sorry, because if this guy would have sent it back to me and say, okay, I want to send it back, I want a full refund. Because I told the person, it's not in this email, it's in the other one. The second message, I sent the 2 messages, but that last one was thanking him for not leaving it. He said he's going to leave a positive feedback. I don't know, that's yet to be seen. I didn't see anything yet from the buyer. I hope they do. I apologize. As you can see, I said I apologize. Please accept my apologies and stuff like that. I told him I'm not happy with the U.S. Postal Service delivery. I did say in reply to the first message, could you please take a picture of the box, how it was sent? I would like to know the condition. Can you please take a picture of the box, and send me pictures of how it looks? He said to me, it's no need, whatever, don't worry about it, as you can see in the second message replied. So apparently I sent him the message in regards to the apologies and stuff like that. He didn't get back to me on that last one I just read to you. This is a problem, folks, and you want to know something? This is why you got to work with your buyers. Because for the simple reason is, now, I could have sat there, and typed up my keyboard. Well, I sent it this way, this, that. The only thing I did say in the message, it wasn't in that one. I said, I find it a little hard, for the way you're describing it, that, the way you described it, and you received it, that was damaged, this and the other thing. I said, I was very cordial. I wasn't being mean. I just said, well, I'm sorry about that, the way it happened. I said, I said, if this would have had damaged on it, if it was like you said, I said it would have been listed in the description and in the video. So, I think what happens, folks, is in some cases like that, the buyer will go back and look at your description, and in this case, look at the video. That's why I like the videos, because the videos kind of like back me up. Not that I'm saying it's going to get me out of a jam all the time with the buyer, but for the most part, I did have this one experience though, where a buyer was kind of like making a statement that, oh, this wasn't the way it is, it's not as described. And I said, look, can you do me a favor, please? I said, can you please go back and check the video out and you'll see what I'm talking about? And I guess the buyer took me up on the offer. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, you did state that in the video, that it was such and such a thing and it didn't have this, that, and the other thing. So it does work in some cases. Okay? But the thing that really irks me, like I said, is it's not the buyers. I mean, like I said, I know I did a thing in the past about the buyers not reading descriptions, but look, I got to take their word for it. Okay, if the guy said he got it and it was damaged like he says, like certain things are loose or whatever, I know personally I would not sell an item like that. Okay, now, if the buyer states, oh, received the item damaged and leaves me negative, that's what I'm saying. See, the post office, sometimes it's not your own doings that could cause a problem for you. It could be the U.S. Postal Service or delivery service, whether it be FedEx, UPS, depends. They're the ones that could tarnish your reputation. They're the ones that could determine whether you're going to be a 100% seller or a 99.9% seller. Because you got to understand something. This guy, when he placed the order for this, he was excited about it. I can't wait to get it. Please rush it all. Get it rushed out. I sent it out, I think, last week or the week before, Saturday afternoon before 12 o'clock. So you can get this out before 12 noon. I think they close either 12 or 1 o'clock over here on the East Coast here at the post office. And if you can get it out before 12, I think I said 12 to just protect myself. I said, then I found later on, I think they do close at 1. I said, if you could do it by 12 o'clock, I get this thing out to you. Please do. I want to rush it on here. And I did. I packaged that thing up, made sure it was packed. I didn't rush packaging it. I made sure I got to the post office on time. I don't want you to think, well, maybe you scarcely packaged it because the guy was in a rush to get it. No, I would not scarcely package. If anything, I would have told the buyer, you're going to get your item you'll get your item first thing Monday morning. I'll ship it out Monday morning, first thing Monday morning. Okay, but I'm not going to rush and do shabby packaging and get it to the item and get the item to the buyer and poorly scarcely packaged. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to get it. Of course it's going to be damaged. But this is it seems to me like this is the second time this happened. Okay, and I know how I package. I know how I package my items. I did a video on packaging. Go check it out. I think I did a video on there. It says how I package my fragile items. And the way I package those items is how I pack all fragile items. Okay? Anything that's fragile, I pack up really good. So, that's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes it's not by your own doings. It could be by somebody else that could louse you up. And in this case, it could be the U.S. Postal Service. Right? I mean, I don't want to keep blaming, but, I know how I send stuff out, and the honest sellers out there, they know how they send things out too. Okay? I know people say, well, you expect people to take your word for it. No, you don't have to take my word for it. Okay? But my feedback it speaks for itself. Okay? If I do shabby packaging, it's going to reflect on there. They're going to say poorly packaged, item received, it was damaged, whatever. But you might say, in this case here, They might say that the buyer might say the item was poorly packaged and received the item damaged anyway. I mean, it's a damned if you do and damned if you don't situation, but for the most part, if you look at the feedbacks, I'm not saying every single feedback is saying, oh, this guy's a fantastic seller, well packaged, it's shipped great, the item received, it was overpackaged, whatever, overpacked, whatever. I always say I'd rather overpack than underpack. Okay? Because overpacking, you could, in your own mindset, you could say, well, if I overpack it, I know it should definitely get there in one piece, not pieces, as opposed to underpacking. Just like, oh, I'll just take it through a little bubble wrap around it. And let me tell you, like I said it once before, and I'm not complaining, going off on a rant, but there's been cases I go out, I do my due diligence to make sure that item's packaged well before it's sent off to the buyer. And on a couple occasions, okay. When they send it back to me, it's not the way I sent it to them is not the way they send it back to me. Okay? So I just want to share that with you guys. But it seems to me this is like an ongoing thing. And now it makes me get a little edgy because I say to myself, every time I send something fragile out, do I have to worry about getting a response later on from a buyer? I mean, you're sitting there working on your computer, all of a sudden you boop, a little message comes up and says, new message from buyer. It's like, oh my God. The minute I said, this can't be good. I looked at it, it comes on the corner of your screen, I said, it can't be good. Sure enough, I clicked it open, the buyer told me it there. And I told the buyer in response to his first message, I said, what would you like to do? What do you want to do? In other words, I give him the option, do you want to send it back? I said, because if I sent it a message, in response to his first, I said, if you do want to send it back, I said, I'm going to need it. I'm going to need the item back because I got to put a claim in for it, so it's going to have to be shipped back to me. So I said, please let me know what you want to do. And again, I said in response to his first message, I said, I do apologize. I'm sorry that I got to you like that. I mean, if everybody did their share, did their job the right way, I wouldn't have to be going through this stuff. Okay? I wouldn't have to be sitting here going through this repetitive thing. I'm not saying it happens a lot. I mean, you say, well, what are you complaining about? It's the only second time it happened. Who's to say it's going to be the last? It may not be the last. I know it may not be the last. People say, well, it's the second time. If it's the first time, it ain't going to be the last. This case, the second time, and it probably won't be the last. But really, they got to step up their game, man. I mean, they got to do something with the service. I mean, you're paying for it, okay? This ain't freebie stuff. It's not like the post office saying, I'm going to give you a freebie. You can send it out priority mail. Don't worry, whatever. I'm paying for this service. Well, the buyers are paying for it, but if it comes back like that. I have on my descriptions buyer pays returns, and I got news for you. When situations like that arise, the buyer gets everything back. They get their full return, shipping and handling. Okay, they get the shipping and handling, full shipping and handling, and plus their money back. And you, being me as a seller, I'm out of that. Okay, I got to pay the return shipping, even though the eBay has it. I put it on my descriptions. Buyer pays return shipping. I still have to, in some cases, I have to eat the shipping up, the return. It's not fair. And and the thing is, I got this check from the post office, all well and Jim dandy. It's on kind of their stupidity that I'm out of the money. Now I could appeal and say, well, I want the X amount of money for it that I put in for it. I should get paid. No, they're paying you for the value of what the item costs. So I'm out of the shipping. I'll be honest with you. If you want to know, on this here, it's a check. Yeah, it's great. It's nice. But I'm out of the shipping. Okay? So that's why I said, by their stupidity and poor handling, I can't collect for the shipping cost. And that's not fair. A double win for them. It's a double win. Okay? They made out. Okay? They made out. They got their money. I didn't. I lost out on it. So, as a matter of fact, the profit I made on that wasn't even a profit, to be honest with you. On that one, I went to be honest with you, with that last one, the first one, I went to the toilet on it, to be honest with you. I did. I came out with this. Zeros. If the buyer, if the postal service had did their job like they're supposed to, and delivered a package the right way, I would have made the profit on a little profit, not much. For what I paid for those lamps, what I paid for that ceramic one and the other one, I didn't make anything on it. Matter of fact, I'll be honest with you. I'll be upfront and honest with you. This is nothing. I should just put a 0 on here because I lost out on that. Thanks to the Postal Service. Thank you, USPS. priority mail. That's why they put tracked and insured. I know a lot of companies have them. You know, FedEx has theirs. I think their FedEx Ground, I think, is insured up to $100. I don't use UPS, but I'm sure they have insurance. I'm sure your major couriers have them. Postal Service, I thought I seen some say $50 or I thought $100 on priority mail, up to, or either said up to $100 or I know it's up to $50. And like I said, you could argue with them and tell them they're going to go, just to give you guys a heads up, if you're putting in a claim for it, they're going to go by the value. They're not going to, if you say, well, that's what I said in there. I said, I would like to have my return shipping price, because it cost me money to have it. I had to pay for return shipping. The buyer got the full-blown package back, and that's fine. That's fine. You got your full refund, shipping and handling. Even though, this is why I said, sometimes with eBay, it's a double standard there. You put in there, buyer pays for return shipping. Okay? It doesn't matter. In that case, I had to pay the buyer the full refund. Price of the item and the shipping. I don't even know why, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know why eBay even puts that in there. Why is it on your descriptions, you say, you put in there, you check off whatever, buyer pays for return shipping. And it's all based on, I guess, the circumstance, the situation it's in. I guess that's always based. I don't know. See, in that particular case, I guess on a damaged item, the buyer, I'm just assuming, this is my own assumption. I know what they say about assuming. But my assumption is this. I think what happens is, when the buyer gets an item damaged, it defaults to a full refund. Now, I could be wrong. People may contest it and say, Rich, I have to disagree with you, and that's not the case. That's not how eBay works. Well, I'm just expressing myself. That's the way it seems to me in this particular case. Okay, the item arrived damaged. The buyer said the item arrived damaged. They want a full refund. Okay, and they got it. But I had to pay on that one. I had to pay the return shipping. Okay, so I think it's based on what the situation is. Now, if it's on the other hand, eBay works, I think, this way. If the buyer gets the item and says, not as described, or did not want it, does not fit, or it's not for me, whatever, I like to send it back, then because the buyer had an indecisive decision about it, they got to pay the return shipping. Okay, they pay for return shipping. In that case, they're still going to get, I still think they get their full refund. In other words, I'm not paying for the return shipping, the buyer's paying for it, but they still get their full refund. I think that's how it works. That's the way I see it. Again, I could be wrong. All right. So, guys, sellers, buyers. Again, I have to say it to the buyer if he's watching. I apologize for the way you received your item from the U.S. Postal Service, because they're the ones who delivered it. Okay. All I know is, if I was to personally hand deliver these items, I wouldn't be making this video, and I wouldn't have to be very apologetic to the buyer, which I'm not saying I have any problem apologizing to people. Okay, I have no problem with that. I'm an apologetic person. I mean, if there's something wrong, I will apologize for my wrongdoing. Okay, but in this case, I'm apologizing for the post office's negligence, the way they handled the fragile items. Okay, so if the buyer is watching this video, if they do follow me on YouTube or whatever, I just want you to know I apologize again for the second time that you received an item like this, not by my doings, but the U.S. Postal Service. They really need to step up their games, folks. I'm sorry. I'm not like I said, I use them exclusively. I'm considering. I talked to my brother about this once before. He said, "Well, if you get in this situation, like, you might want to try FedEx because they probably have a better handling." But I don't know. I will say this though. I've shipped big things with FedEx. I remember back in the day, I was selling TVs. Not TV. I was selling my own personal TV, but they had the big TVs back then, the 25-inch, whatever. And I shipped it out. FedEx. Got to the company, got to the buyer, resident's house, no problem, no damage, nothing. Never had. That's one thing I gotta say about FedEx. On all the big items I shipped out, I mean, I use them when I have to ship out something big, which I don't want to do anymore. I'm getting older. I can't afford to pick up things over 100 pounds. Okay, I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not able to pick up something that's 200 pounds. I can't pick up things too heavy. Okay, so when I do get them, which I not at this stage of the game, I don't plan on selling anything big, but when I did back then, I would take it to the FedEx, and the FedEx would deliver it, and I never had a problem. Thank God, knock on wood. Never had anybody saying, a buyer saying, "Hey, I received your item today. The thing was smashed to smashed to no end. I received your TV today. The front tube, the picture tube was blowing out. It was busted up in pieces." I didn't have that problem. I didn't have the problem. I don't know what it is with the Postal Service. I mean, I really don't know. And I'm sure there's others out there. If you want to leave comments and you want to share your experiences with the U.S. Postal Service, with the priority mails or whatever, or just in general the U.S. Postal Service, if you have any, if you had experiences like this, please leave a comment. I'd like to hear what you have to say about it. Like I said, I don't hate the Postal Service. My father worked with them for almost 40 years. God rest his soul. He loved the Postal Service. They treated him well and stuff like that. I have a lot of respect for the Post Office and the postal workers. Okay. That's why I use the Postal Service. And it's like a remembrance of my dad. He worked there. He worked for the U.S. Postal Service, almost close to 40 years before he retired. Okay, so it's like you say, well, it's like a pay a tribute thing, or in support of, or in memory of your father. Is that why you use it? No, I used them even when my dad was around. I used them. I like the Postal Service. I just think as time goes on, I think the way they handle things, it's not. I don't know. I mean, to me, it's the second time. I mean, unless someone's got something, on me saying, well, let's give this guy a hard time. Let's keep getting things and making a break or stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know what the heck is going on anymore. But all I'm saying, folks, is that I wanted to share this video with you guys, and I mean to go on and rant and rave about it, but I would tell you, make sure everything's well packaged. If you got stuff that's super fragile, very fragile, whatever you want to call it, like it's fragile, make sure you pack it, overpack it, rehearse it in your mind. If it does drop, if it drops this way, will it get damaged? Depending on if the thing is an oblong thing, I don't know. It sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy, right? It's the same. I got to do a preview on how it drops, whatever. I got to do things. I don't know. I'm just saying. Think about worst case scenarios. Think about if the thing falls off a truck or off a shelf. If it hits a corner, is it going to break? Is it going to? I mean, unless you want to go through this all the time. And to be honest with you, I hope the buyer doesn't change his mind, because to get it back again, and if it is damaged, what am I going to do with it now? Okay, when I sent it to the buyer, I know that thing was sent in perfect condition. It was mine personal computer. My personal computer. This wasn't something I picked up at a thrift store and I had a broken hinge on, or was damaged, the side of it was caved in. That was my personal desktop computer. And the only reason why I sold that desktop computer is because I had problems with it, with the issue. Not bad. I couldn't get it to work. I told you it bombed out on me one day. I don't know if it did a head crash or whatever. I didn't want to invest money into it. I didn't want to invest money to fix it, because to have Best Buy just to look at it, and even the Best Buy technician told me to have us look at it just to check it out, it's $149. And he said, I'll be honest with you, when did you buy it? I said, I don't know, it had been purchased, I don't know, back in 2006, 2005, whatever. He said, as they get older, he goes, sometimes it's not even worth it. He goes, you're best off just buying a new one. And it's true. So that's what I did. I ended up buying another computer at Micro Center. It's an HP. I like the HP, it's a Pavilion. And I ended up buying that there. It cost me $400 for it. I got it in a clearance sale. It's normally, I think, five and change or whatever, something like that. So I saved money on it. So far, thank God, knock on wood, it's working fine. Okay, I didn't want to invest money into it. And I know I could have probably, my brother told me, well, you could have bought another motherboard for it. You could have bought another hard drive. You could, rebuild it again. Make sure. I didn't want to get that route. I should have, but it would have cost me more money, to be honest with you. And you got to think about this. It would have cost me more money to buy all those integrated circuits, like the components, to rebuild it again. Because I don't know, I don't know. Again, I don't know what could have actually went on it. I did sell the memory on it so far. Thank God, knock on wood, nothing's wrong. The memory, I only had one memory stick, I think. There was an 8 gig memory stick. That sold, no problem. Motherboard, quote, So far, I have not heard anything from the buyer. I saw the CPU fan. Well, CPU fan, what could be wrong with that there, right? I saw that, got rid of that. That's gone. I didn't hear anything from the buyer saying it brought damage, and even that, because it has like the little fins on it. It was the heat sink. It was a fan with the heat sink on it. You know, the little vents on it. I had to wrap that around with cardboard. Then I encased it with styrofoam to make sure top, bottom, all four corners, to make sure if it did drop, it would not get damaged. So far, I didn't hear anything from the buyer. I hope I don't. You know, it gets, you know, this type of business, it gets scary doing it, because you say to yourself, I never know what to expect. And that's why when you send stuff out, and it's things of that nature, like, you know, you're sitting there saying, oh boy, I'm sending this out, and you're saying to yourself in your mind, this looks well packaged. I can't picture anything happen to it. If it does fall, it's going to be protected this way. Don't matter, folks. If you've seen the way I package these things up, with a little styrofoam I packed in it, a bubble wrap in some case, I put bubble wrap on it, and it's still got there broke. It's amazing. You know, and I am one for one. Again, if this would have happened, I think I talked about this in my other videos. I can't afford to let the buyer keep it. In a case like that, some people say, well, it depends. I don't know. I guess it depends on the amount of money we're talking. But some people say, I just let the buyer refund the buyer and let him keep the item. Let him or her keep the item. I can't do that. I can't afford to do that. Some people will do that. They say, well, sometimes I just let them keep it. If you could do it, more power to you. I can't. I can't do it. I'll be upfront and honest with you. I can't do it. Because in that case, if the buyer says want to return it, I like a refund, I would tell the buyer, well, you're gonna need to send it back. And if the buyer is gotten the impression in their mind that, well, I'll get a refund, I get to keep the item, I can't. People just say, well, even though it's broken, you still want, even though it got broken, I still want it back because I'm going to put a claim in for it. That's why I want it back. Okay, getting something is better than nothing. Okay, I can't take a total loss. I can't take a total loss on the item. I need to get something back for it. I'm a small-time operator. I can't afford to let a buyer keep it, and I hear that many times over. Even on eBay radios, one of the hosts will say, "Oh well, I just let the buyer keep it. I give them a full refund, let them keep the item." If everybody did business, I'm not saying again. If everybody did business like that, though, let everybody, every time you get something and you're letting the buyer keep it, what you're doing is, but you can look at it as charity. Then, if you want to look at it that way, look at it as a charitable cause. Then, okay, you look at it as a charitable cause. Okay, you say, well, I give it to the person, let them keep it. I don't care. I'll write it off on my income taxes, whatever. I'm not that big to do that. Okay, I'm sure if you wanted a refund from Walmart or Best Buy and stuff like that, they're going to pretty much, I would say, they're going to want the item back. I doubt very much you're going to hear, unless the item is beyond repair or it's been lost in the mail or whatever. I'm sure before a company, like if you bought something online from Walmart, I'm sure they're going to want that item back before they refund you. That's why they have RA numbers, return authorization numbers. What do you think they have them for? Okay, they want that item back. And when upon receiving it, I had that happen to me. I bought things in the past. Okay, you call up, our returns require return authorization number. You call up the company, say, yeah, I want to return this thing. It's not the way it works. It's not what I needed. It doesn't work. It doesn't fit. Okay, here's the return authorization number. They'll send you a prepaid envelope in some cases, or postage. You provide your own packaging, of course. You put the package, you put the thing on there. Sometimes the companies will offer free shipping to return, but they will not issue a refund until they get that item back in their premises. Okay? If Walmart was to do something like that, you would have everybody calling up or ordering stuff from Walmart and saying, yeah, the item right damaged. You think the Walmart representative on the other end say, okay, we'll refund you, you keep the item. It's not going to happen. If it does, again, if anybody knows stories like that, please share it with me. I'd love to hear them. I really would. Maybe there are people that have experiences like that. Maybe there are situations where people buy online from Walmart and they see the item right damaged. I would like to hear what the representative would say. If the representative says, "Oh, don't worry, keep it, and we'll refund your money," I'd like to hear that story. I really like to hear it. If that's the case, wow. Well, they could listen again. Walmart could afford to do it anyway. You ever see their annual revenue? How much that company brings in? I know they got so many thousands of stores. Go look at their annual revenue, what their company brings in every year. Check it out. It's in hundreds of billions. I don't know if I thought I seen somewhere it's like 200 something billion dollars a year they bring, but that's with all the stores, not just one store, of course. But they could afford to write some losses like that off if that's the case. And I'm sure they have things where they got lost in the mail. People claim I never received it. I'm sure there are cases like that. But I'm not one where I could afford to do that. So, if there are people out there that have experiences like that, hey, what can I tell you? More power to you. I can't do it. Okay, and the reason why I'm saying this here, and I'm not going to elaborate on it over and over again, but when people say that they're, in certain cases, I let the person keep it. I can't afford to do it. Now, in this case here, again, if the buyer does change their mind and says, no, second thought, I want to return it, I want a refund, I'll have to let the buyer know, say, look, can you please send it back to me? I need it for insurance purposes. I'll put a claim in for it. And that's it. And let me tell you something. In some cases, I don't know if you have to have the item on hand. I would think they do, because from what the postmaster told me that they would have to have it on hand. But I was thinking this. If a buyer said, I don't, regard damage, and they want to hold on to it, what would they do? The Postal Service, when you put in for a claim, they want proof of it. The person would have to take, what the person would do is take a picture of it broken, and then I had to take a picture of it, in that, and go by it based on the buyer. As far as I know, they want the item in person. In other words, I was told that when I put in for my claim for that lamp, that I should hold on to it because it may be called in. They may want it one day, and hold on to it for a while. I was told to hold on to it for a while. So I don't know in a case like that if the buyer says, well, I want to hold on to it, and the buyer refuses to send it back. What do you do in a case like you want to put a claim into it? Do you tell the buyer, can you send me a picture of it broken? And then you got to contact the post office. I'd have to let the post office know. Say, look, the buyer doesn't want to return it, but they received it damaged. Are you going to let them keep it? Do you let them keep it? I don't know. That would be an experience I never went through, because that's why it wouldn't be a point to give the buyer a hard time saying, well, you're going to make the buyer return a broken item. I don't know what else to do. I mean, you don't want to make it look like you're defrauding the Postal Service. I mean, if they're telling you they want the item back, they probably want to look at it most likely. So, what are you going to say? Tell the buyer, all right, put a picture up there, send me a picture of it broken, and then when I put in the claim, I'll just, when it says show you, what you're claiming, and then you have to have proof. Of course, they would go by the PayPal. That's what the guy told me from the Postal Service. Because the first time I got denied, I don't know if I mentioned that, they wanted to see proof. So I showed him the emails that I received from the buyer saying that when I received it was damaged. They looked at the PayPal. The PayPal transaction was what really helped, because they went by the value of that there. That's how they based it off. They said he could, because he elaborated on that. He said, well, because of the PayPal, it shows the amount what it was purchased for and the value of it. Okay, so that's how they based that part. But again, if the post office did accept something like that, where the buyer sends you a picture, and when you're filing a claim, and you take that buyer's picture and you put it on there, and you show that it was damaged, and then you're putting your before and after type of thing, and then you show the proof. I don't know if the post office would accept that. If that's the case, then so be it. But for the most part, I need to have the item back. But anyway, guys, I think I talked enough about this stuff. I just wanted to share that there. I got my little checkie back from the post office. It made me semi-happy, even though I didn't get my return shipping on there. People might say, well, don't complain. At least you be thankful you got that. And I am thankful I got that. I am. But I'm just trying to share that with you guys. I don't know what to tell you in regards to packaging. Package up your stuff, okay, and pack it to the best of your ability, and just hope that whatever fragile thing you're sending out gets there in one piece and not in pieces. I will talk to you guys soon in the next video. You have a great day, and good luck buying and selling. Bye now.